Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between the green hills of ancient India, there lived a young boy named Ravi. The village was like any other, with mud houses, narrow lanes, and families who had lived there for generations. Everyone in the village followed the same path in life. The sons of farmers became farmers. The sons of potters became potters. The sons of weavers became weavers. This was the way it had always been, and nobody questioned it. Ravi was the son of a farmer named Mohan. From the time he could walk, everyone told him, "You will be a farmer like your father, and his father, and his father before him." But Arjun had a different dream burning in his heart. He loved to carve wood. Whenever he found a fallen branch or a piece of old wood, his fingers would dance across it, creating beautiful shapes of animals, birds, and gods. "Stop wasting your time with these useless things," his father would scold him. "You need to learn farming. That is your destiny." The village elders agreed. "A farmer's son must be a farmer," they said. "This is our tradition. This is our way." But Arjun's heart was not in the fields. While other boys his age learned to plow and sow seeds, Arjun would sneak away to the edge of the forest, where he would sit under a banyan tree and carve. His hands created magic from wood, but nobody cared to see it. One day, an old wandering sadhu came to the village. His name was Devendra, and he had traveled across the length and breadth of India. He had wise eyes that seemed to see into people's souls. When he saw young Arjun sitting alone, carving a wooden peacock, he sat down beside him. "What are you making, child?" the sadhu asked gently. "A peacock, Baba," Arjun replied, not looking up from his work. "It is beautiful," Devendra said, running his fingers over the delicate feathers Arjun had carved. "You have a rare gift." Arjun's eyes filled with tears. "But what good is a gift that nobody values? Everyone says I must be a farmer. They say I am wasting my time." The sadhu smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story, young one. Many years ago, there was a flock of birds living in a great forest. Every morning, they would all fly together to the same mango tree to eat its fruits. They had done this for so long that they believed it was the only tree with food. One day, a young bird asked, "Why don't we explore other trees?" The older birds laughed. "This is what we have always done," they said. "This is the right way." But the young bird was curious. One morning, instead of following the flock, he flew in a different direction. The other birds called him foolish. They said he would starve. But the young bird discovered something wonderful. He found a forest full of different trees, berry bushes, grains, and sweet flowers. He found food the other birds had never tasted. He found streams they had never seen. He found a whole new world. When he returned to tell the flock, some laughed at him. Some were angry. But a few young birds listened. They followed him to the new forest, and their lives became richer and fuller. The young bird had built his own path, and in doing so, he had opened doors for others too. Ravi listened carefully, his heart pounding. "But Baba, what if I fail? What if everyone is right and I am wrong?" Devendra placed a gentle hand on Ravi's shoulder. "Tell me, child, when you carve, do you feel alive? Does your heart sing?" "Yes," Ravi whispered. "It is the only time I feel truly happy." "Then that is your answer," the sadhu said. "The herd follows the path of comfort and tradition. But greatness comes to those who have the courage to walk alone, even when the whole world tells them they are wrong. Your gift is not a curse. It is your dharma, your true purpose. Honor it." That night, Ravi made a decision. He would not give up his carving. He would work twice as hard. He would help his father in the fields during the day and carve at night by lamplight. His fingers would bleed, his back would ache, but he would not abandon his dream. Months passed, then years. Ravi's carvings became more and more beautiful. he started selling small wooden toys at the village market. People from other villages began to hear about the farmer's son who carved like the gods themselves had guided his hands. One day, a wealthy merchant traveling through the village saw Ravi's work. He was stunned. "I have traveled to many kingdoms," the merchant said, "and I have never seen such artistry. Would you carve something for the king's palace?" Ravi could not believe his ears. With trembling hands, he created his masterpiece, a wooden panel showing Krishna playing his flute, surrounded by dancing peacocks and blooming lotuses. Every feather, every flower petal, every fold of Krishna's dhoti was carved with love and devotion. When the merchant presented it to the king, the entire court stood in silence, amazed by its beauty. The king summoned Ravi to the palace and honored him with gold and the title of royal craftsman. The boy who was told to follow the herd had built his own path, and that path had led him to greatness. When Ravi returned to his village, everything had changed. The same people who had mocked him now celebrated him. The same elders who had told him to be a farmer now called him an inspiration. But the most beautiful moment came when his father, Mohan, embraced him with tears in his eyes. "Forgive me, my son," he said. "I tried to make you walk my path because I thought it was safe. But you showed me that sometimes the greatest safety comes from following your heart. You have made our family's name shine brighter than any harvest ever could." Ravi touched his father's feet with respect. "You gave me life, father, but I had to find my own way to live it." Years later, when Ravi himself became old, young people would come to him for advice. He would tell them the same thing the sadhu had told him: "Do not be afraid to leave the herd. Yes, the path less traveled is harder. Yes, you will face doubt and criticism. Yes, you will sometimes feel alone. But it is better to walk alone on a path that is truly yours than to walk with a crowd on a path that leads nowhere for your soul. Your life is a blank piece of wood," he would say with a smile. "What will you carve from it? Will you let others hold the chisel, or will you create your own masterpiece?" And in the quiet village between the green hills, Ravi's story became a legend, reminding every generation that the greatest journeys begin when you have the courage to step away from the crowd and build your own path.